How do you take the next steps? What do you need? What don't you need? Here's just a handful, a tiny smidgen of some of our freelancers who were right where you are right now and are now all very successful freelance copywriters. These are from our case studies. And if you haven't checked that page out on our website, I recommend you do. It's very inspirational. You're going to get ideas. You're going to see that there's not just one path to your writer's life. But the thing is, all these folks and so many people within the AWAI community have created the life that they've wanted, and doesn't matter how old, how young, where you live, what you look like, anything. None of that stuff matters. It just matters that you want it, that you understand the value that you're bringing to the companies that you'll be serving, and that you do it with passion and professionalism. That's really the key to the common thread of all the successful writers that I know that I work with. But let's, so I'm talking, we got a lot of kind of nuts and bolts on the ground, things that you can start doing tomorrow or even this evening, action steps. But I want to just take it up a little bit to maybe 10,000 feet or 20,000 feet and just kind of talk big picture about what you do need to be a successful freelance writer. You need passion. You can't fake this. It's not going to serve you well. It's not going to serve your clients well. And in passion, it's passion in the writing. It's passion in the experience that your clients are having, that your customers are having, that you're having. You want to bring all that to all the projects that you do. And a question that we get quite often from new writers is, well, I have, what if I don't believe in the company, or what if I don't believe in the product? Well, you know what? Just move on. There are plenty of other fish in the sea, and you don't want to be putting time and energy into something that you don't truly believe in. So there's passion. You have to be curious. You want to know how things work, why things work, what makes people tick. All of that brings a richer experience to the copy that you're going to be doing. You want to always be learning. Copywriters are always learning. And at this stage, you have to have persistence. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be challenges. You have to keep putting one step in front of the other. You have to learn these skills and then see where it takes you. But it does take some persistence. And I touched on this. It's so important that you have a sense of your value from day one, from right now. Copywriters, in my opinion, are the lifeblood of our economy. They're what make businesses grow. They're what help business owners achieve their dreams. It's what makes the engine run, the copy, the content that you are writing, that you are contributing. It's how they build their businesses, their communities. So understand that from the very beginning. You're not doing anybody a favor. You're not just some cog in the wheel. You are meeting everybody on the marketing team, everybody in this process on a level playing field. You're all at the same table, and what you bring is very, very important to these to your future clients. So I like to beat that drum really hard. Another thing that you need is a practice. And I use that in terms almost like I think about my yoga practice or my meditation practice. It's a commitment that I'm making with some rituals around it, that, if it's at the same time every day or the same place every day, I want you to think in terms of your writing career as something you need to dedicate time, energy, and space to. Can you hit the next little? Yeah. So you need a space. And even if it's the corner of the dining room table, between lunch and bedtime, or between breakfast and lunch, or if it's a little desk in the corner of a bedroom, or it's a coffee shop that you have your table at, or somewhere within your environment that you can call your own. And it's really important that everyone around you understand that that's your writing space too. That's sacred space. That's where your writing happens. You know, equipment, you don't need a lot. You really just need a computer and Wi-Fi. But again, you need to look at those as the tools that you need to execute your practice. And a schedule. This is really important. And I would have loved to have asked all the writers that you heard from what their schedule is and have an understanding of just how important it is. And we know most of you are still could be working full-time jobs or have busy lives, but it's really important that you dedicate some amount of time on a regular basis to your writing practice, to growing your freelance business. It could be, 15 minutes a day, or it could be an hour or two on the weekends. Whatever it is, there needs to be consistency to it, and there needs to be a regiment to it. Like, all this stuff is sacred. That's the word that keeps coming to me when in terms of your particular writing practice. And then that all is wrapped up with your commitment to get this skill and start this new way of life for yourself. That's got to be the motivator, the burning desire that keeps this going. So really just want you to think about that for a minute and be sure that you can understand the importance of that. And the next thing that you need to be a successful writer is you do need some skills, some writing skills that businesses need. Now we've heard from the different writers about all the different types of projects they do. I just threw some up here. I could have filled this whole screen plus the next one with all the potential ones. And I don't want that to scare you or overwhelm you. You don't have to learn them all. You don't. But I highly recommend that you focus in on one. Really just one. As of today, let's just start with one. If you want to learn how to write emails, figure out what you need to do to learn how to write emails. If it's blogs, if it's newsletters, all of these things companies need. And if you just focus in on one, that's how you get your foot in the door. And then if you're writing the newsletter and they say, hey, how about, can you write a blog post for us too? You say, of course I can. Then you go to AWAI's blog writing program and you learn it real quick, and then you deliver your blog. Now you're writing newsletters and blogs for them. Or once you start writing a newsletter, if they don't have a blog, hey, you know what? How about if I turn my newsletter articles into a blog for you? It's easier than it sounds, and it happens more quickly and frequently than you probably can even understand at this point, how one thing can lead to the other. But it all starts by starting. And the best way to start is to focus in on one project type, and get those skills. We've heard about this from everybody today has talked about this. You need to understand that you're going to have to market yourself, and you have to get comfortable with that. We've heard about so many easy ways to do that and get started, but you need a simple marketing plan to get that started. We've heard how powerful LinkedIn is. And honestly, that's really all you need to get started. There's other things you can layer in, but like Elise was saying, we have had more copywriters launch their careers through LinkedIn than probably any other platform or source. So you start with a simple LinkedIn profile. Elise can help you get set up with that. You need a strategy for reaching out to people you know. And I'll tell you, it's 3 easy words. And let me see, I wrote this down because Mindy mentioned it, Michelle, Ed, Chris, Pam, I bet Chris Alsop also. And that's really just telling people, I am a copywriter. I'm a copywriter. Those are the 3 words. And seeing where those conversations lead. It's that, oh, my brother's uncle was saying, yeah, he needs a new website. Is that something that you do? Let me hook you up with him. Those kinds of things happen so frequently and so easy. So it's figuring out that circle where you can reach out to. And somebody was saying that they've just retired, so they don't have their network anymore. I'm like, well, of course you do. You still know those people. You can still send them an email and say, hey, guess what I'm doing now? I'd love to, if you know anybody that I can help, with the website or with emails, please pass them my way. People want to help their friends. People want to help people that they know be successful. So, so you need a LinkedIn profile, real easy, the simple strategy of just reaching out. And I think it's also important to have a way to position yourself as a go-to resource for help and ideas. And that is tied to the strategy for reaching out for people. So as you're reaching out, say, hey, I can help you with your website. I can do just a little audit, see if there's anything that you're missing, anything that you're leaving on the table. Let me get back to you with a proposal and a plan. You want to be the resource that companies trust. They value your professionalism, and the fact if you're bringing ideas to them, that's all the better, because once, like I said before, you do the one project for them, there will be more. That's just the way that it works. So think of yourself as this helpful resource to companies to help them solve their problems. Again, just like what Elise was talking to us about. Another big theme of today is the support network. You're here, so you're part of this amazing AWAI support network, but think in terms of cultivating it and honoring it and recognizing that you have it. I think that's really the most important thing to start with. So friends and family, like we've all been talking about, let them know that this is what you're doing, and get their support. Ask for their support as far as helping you achieve your goal. If it's your family, let them know how important this is and say, yeah, I need to be able to focus on my writing career. This is my schedule. Please respect this. Those kind of simple things are all a way of getting the people that care about you to support you and help you carry you forward. Talk to past employers, colleagues, vendors that you might have worked with. You know how we all develop these friendships and relationships. These are people that care about you and want you to be successful. So tap into them when you're starting out and let them know what you're doing. You just don't know where it can lead. Groups and associations, if there's any local community groups, there's anything associated with hobbies you're involved with, any professional groups, let them know. I'm a copywriter. I can help you. I can help people that you know be more successful, grow your business. The thing that I think is so important here is to just not compartmentalize, this is my copywriting world, my freelance writer world, and everything else is outside of that. You just meld them together as much as possible, because they're going to support each other and feed each other. And then finally, like your new AWAI colleagues, I hope everybody is part of our Facebook group. We've got some great conversations going on right there. Know that our member success team is here to help you, support you, especially if you're ever feeling stuck. Give us a call. We have been doing this for 25 years. So there aren't many situations, I can't imagine any situations that we haven't heard of and that we haven't been able to help people move forward with. So please take advantage of us. And then mentors and industry pros, take advantage of these great programs that we offer, that other companies offer, as far as getting insights and exposure to mentors and people within your niches, as well as within the copywriting and marketing world. But we have free Inside AWAIs once a month. The webinars that we do and the participation and the support is so fun and electric, and you learn so much just from participating, from looking at everyone else's questions. So understand that we're all here because we love what we do. We are all about bringing up the next class, the next generation of writers, and we do everything that we can to help you be successful. And anybody that's associated with AWAI feels the exact same way. All right, so those are the big picture things of what you do need to be a successful copywriter. Now let's just touch on the things that you don't need to be a successful freelancer. You don't need a college degree. Nobody's going to ask you for that. Let me just back up. If you are applying for jobs, maybe on a job board or, through more traditional ways, they may ask if you have a college degree, or they may say they want someone with a college degree. The reality is a college degree is not needed for this. You do need some skills, but as long as you can connect with somebody that can hire you through a engaging personal email, that's going to get you further than anything else as far as getting started. So don't worry if you don't have a college degree. Don't worry if you don't have years of training. You got to start somewhere. You're in the right place to get started. The experience and the training will come. And as you're learning, as you're getting experience, the clients that you're working with now, they may not be the clients that you work with 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years. I know we heard from Heather and a few others about these long-term clients, and that's ideal. But I bet, and knowing our experience working with Heather at AWAI, she grew as AWAI was growing. We were a totally different company 20 years ago, and we weren't as evolved and sophisticated. And we met at a perfect time. And there are so many companies out there that it will be the perfect time for you to meet them and grow with them. I saw a couple questions about, do copywriters need to do the graphic design? You don't need to do that. So don't worry about that. You really don't need any kind of tech know-how. All you need to do is be able to send, write a document in Word or Google Docs and send an email. It's not a bad idea if you have ideas about how a headline should look, or maybe the type of photo that might support it, you can put those in notes, but you don't have to actually design it. You don't actually have to find it. You can kind of do like a little running commentary of some ideas. But as far as the actual nuts and bolts of how you lay out a website or an email, or even how you send it, you don't have to worry about that. I have formal writing skills in quotes here, because it's not about punctuation and the grammar rules and the things that you learned in school. Persuasive content and copywriting is about connecting and communicating in an engaging and personal way. And so that means writing like you talk. So, and that's what we teach you how to capitalize on. You already know how to do it. We just show you a framework for how to convey that and how to create that within the different formats available. You don't need an agent or a publisher. And Pam gave us such great ideas for getting a portfolio, for getting started, and I hope you all do those, but you don't need it to get started. It is a great way to get started, and I fully support everything she was saying and recommend that. But if you're not there yet, or you don't have that yet, don't worry about it. It's not a writer or a client isn't necessarily going to say, let me see your portfolio before I hire you. When I'm hiring writers, this is how it usually goes. Somebody will contact me with an idea, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? They tell me a little bit more. And then from there, I'm like, okay, well, I think that could make a really great article for the Writer's Life. Please write it up. And I give them the specs for that. And then we're off to the races. So there was never any point before me hiring this person to write this article. There wasn't like a checkpoint where I was like, oh, before I do that, I need to see your portfolio. It was all about the person bringing me an idea that I was interested in, that I got excited about, that solved a problem that added to the conversation I was having with our members. So, I mean, that's it. You don't need to, if you're worried about any of these, just kick them to the curb. You don't have to worry about any of this.